Park Dong-yoon has orchestrated 27 assassinations in his career. He's studied the grammar of violence in 5 languages, memorized the precise angle a blade enters between the 3rd and 4th rib, learned to read death in a man's eyes 3 seconds before it arrives. He knows what a killer looks like. He knows what death looks like when it's being taught. And right now, at 4:23 p.m. on a humid Tuesday afternoon in his Gangnam compound garden, standing in the doorway of his climate-controlled study with a glass of 20-year-old Macallan rested halfway to his lips, he's watching his housekeeper show his 8-year-old son a hand position that should not exist outside of colonial folklore and intelligence reports marked unverified. The triangular mudra, her fingers form against Do-hyun's small palms, makes something ancient and terrible wake up in Dong-yoon's hindbrain. Some instinct older than his Armani suit, older than his empire, older than the concrete and steel of Seoul itself, screaming at him that he's witnessing something consecrated, something forbidden, something that kills. If you enjoy these kind of stories, do well to hit the subscribe button and tell us where you are watching from. We'd really love to know and understand our audience. You can also turn on the notification icon so you never miss any news story from us. The woman's name is Kizoba Okonkwo. At least, that's what her immigration documents claim in flawless Hangul. She's been his live-in housekeeper for exactly 6 weeks and 4 days. Quiet as smoke, efficient as a German engine, keeps her eyes appropriately lowered in the presence of men who could make her disappear with a phone call. The kind of employee who folds his Italian suits with geometric perfection, who prepares his meals without being asked, anticipating his schedule like she's studied him, who never flinches at the scent of gunpowder on his collar or the bloodstains that occasionally require cold water and patience. Dong-yoon stands frozen now, ice melting in his whiskey, watching through the floor-to-ceiling windows as her dark fingers adjust his son's pale wrists with surgical precision. The movement is ancient, deliberate, impossible. She whispers something in a language that sounds like drum beats and thunder. Ibo, his brain supplies from some half-remembered intelligence briefing. Do-hyun's hands shift into the final position, and the boy's whole body changes. Spine straightening, breath deepening, eyes focusing with an intensity Dong-yoon hasn't seen since before the funeral. Do-hyun, silent and ghost hollow for 2 years, moving through the compound like a beautiful corpse, is smiling. And Kizoba, his perfect, obedient housekeeper, is looking at his son the way warriors look at their chosen successors, the way mothers look at their children, the way someone looks at something they're willing to die for. Park Dong-yoon has orchestrated 17 assassinations in his career. He knows the language of violence, the grammar of death. But on this humid Tuesday afternoon at 4:23 p.m., standing in the doorway of his private study with expensive whiskey arrested halfway to his lips, he witnesses something that makes his blood run cold. Through the floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the garden, his housekeeper is teaching his 8-year-old son a hand position that should not exist outside of legend. Do-hyun's small fingers form a perfect triangle, thumb to middle finger, index curved like a hook. Zoba guides his wrists with surgical precision, her dark hands adjusting, correcting. The movement is ancient, deliberate, sacred. Dong-yoon's instincts scream danger. He's seen this formation once before, sketched in the margins of a police file from Lagos. The detective who documented it was found 3 days later with his throat crushed from the inside. No external wounds, just catastrophic internal collapse. Ndu, the silent strike. It shouldn't be real. It shouldn't be in his garden. It definitely shouldn't be in his son's hands. But what freezes him, what truly terrifies him, is Do-hyun's face. The boy is smiling, actually smiling. For the first time since the funeral 2 years ago, his ghost child looks alive. Dong-yoon moves through his home like a predator, silent despite his size. The kitchen smells of jollof rice and plantains. Zoba stands at the sink, her maid's uniform pristine, washing dishes with practiced efficiency. "What are you teaching my son?" She doesn't flinch, doesn't turn. Her hands continue their methodical work, soap bubbles catching the afternoon light. "Discipline," she says in perfect Korean. "Focus. Breath control. Don't insult me." Dong Yoon's voice drops to the register that makes grown men confess. "I saw the hand position. I know what it is." Finally, she turns. Her eyes are calm, ancient, holding depths he hasn't noticed before. When she speaks, her voice carries the weight of something far older than the woman wearing the uniform. "Then you know your son needed a teacher. And I know he needed protection. From what? From the world that made him silent, Mr. Park. From the same violence that made you." The kitchen suddenly feels smaller, more dangerous. "Who are you?" Zoba dries her hands on a towel with deliberate care. "I am your son's teacher. That is all you need to know." She walks past him, leaving the scent of shea butter and something else, something like smoke and iron and old prayers. Dong Yoon realizes, with the certainty of a man who has survived 20 years in the underworld, that the most dangerous person in his fortress isn't him. It never was. 3 weeks earlier, Do Hyun presses himself against the bathroom stall, trying to make his body smaller. Invisible. The footsteps echo on tile. Expensive sneakers that cost more than most families' monthly rent. Little Park. Min Suk's voice is honey over razor blades. "I know you're in here." Do Hyun holds his breath. Through the gap in the stall door, he can see Min Suk's reflection in the mirror. 15 years old, already built like a man. The son of Baek Jin-woo, his father's greatest rival. At school, they pretend the gang war doesn't exist. But in empty bathrooms, truth lives. Your lunch money. Now, Do Hyun's fingers tremble as he reaches into his pocket. 20,000 won. It's never enough, but giving it buys him another day. The stall door slams open. Min Suk's hand wraps around Do Hyun's throat, lifting him onto his toes. "You think I'm a beggar? You think 20,000 won is respect?" His breath smells like cigarettes and entitlement. "Your father owns half of Gangnam. You insult me with pocket change." Do Hyun can't speak, can't breathe. Black spots dance in his vision. Min Suk drops him. Do Hyun collapses, gasping as the kick comes. Ribs, stomach, precise enough to hurt without leaving marks his father might see. "Tomorrow, 50,000. Or I tell my friends where you walk home." That evening, Zoba finds Do Hyun in the garden, still in his school uniform. She's folding laundry, her movements efficient and quiet. She doesn't ask about the way he's holding his side. Doesn't comment on the fingerprint bruises blooming purple on his neck. Instead, she sits beside him on the stone bench. "In my village," she says softly, "we have a saying, Ani na agba oso enenwegi ike igba oso hosi. The one who runs will eventually run out of places to hide." Do Hyun's voice cracks. "I'm not running. I'm just waiting." For what? For it to stop. Zoba's hand covers his, warm and steady. Some things don't stop on their own, small one. Some things must be stopped. My father would kill him. Do Hyun's eyes fill with tears he refuses to let fall. Then Min Suk's father would kill mine. Then more killing. It never ends. You're right. Zoba studies his face with an intensity that makes him feel seen for the first time in months. Violence only breeds violence. But there is a difference between violence and protection, between domination and defense. She stands, extending her hand. "Come, let me teach you something my grandfather taught me. Something sacred." Do Hyun takes her hand, not knowing he's accepting a gift that will cost everything. Dong Yoon's office, at 3 a.m. is lit only by the glow of multiple monitors. His head of security, Kim, stands rigid beside the desk, watching his boss scroll through classified files that cost 3 lives and $500,000 to obtain. "You're certain this is her?" Dong-Yoon's voice is flat, controlled. Facial recognition confirmed. Fingerprints from the kitchen matched Interpol's database. "Sir, she's a ghost." Dong-Yoon cuts him off, eyes fixed on the photograph from 2019. Same face, different name. Kizoba Okafor stands among Nigerian police officers, receiving a commendation for stopping a hostage situation. Single-handedly. No weapons. Just her hands. He clicks to the next file. A British colonial report from 1897. The Igbo fighters employed a technique of remarkable lethality. Strikes to specific points on the body resulted in delayed death. Victims would walk, talk, appear unharmed, then collapse hours later with catastrophic internal failures. Local sources call it ndu. "We have lost 4 officers attempting to understand it." Another click. CIA Intelligence Brief, 1973. Confirmation of 20 living masters at any given time. Technique is maintained through blood covenant with unknown deity. Attempts to infiltrate training circles have resulted in 100% mortality rate among operatives. Recommend observation only. Another. Interpol Red Notice, 2021. Withdrawn after 48 hours. Subject, Kizoba Okafor. Wanted for questioning regarding deaths of 7 men in Port Harcourt. All victims, known human traffickers. All deaths, identical pattern. Internal collapse, no external trauma. Subject disappeared before arrest. Note, local sources claim she is protected by a Maidioha. Pursuing officers experienced equipment failures, accidents. Investigation suspended. Dong-Yoon leans back, the leather chair creaking. How many masters currently alive? Kim consults his tablet. Our sources confirm 19 documented practitioners across Nigeria, Cameroon, and the diaspora. All elderly, 70s and 80s. Except her. He pauses. "Sir, there's something else. The covenant." "Explain." Every source, anthropological studies, intelligence reports, local testimonies, they all say the same thing. When a new student is initiated, one of the 20 masters dies. It's not metaphor. It's documented. In 2003, a master in Lagos taught his grandson. That same day, the eldest master in Enugu died in his sleep. Heart failure. No prior conditions. The implication hangs in the air like smoke. She taught my son. Dong-Yoon's jaw tightens. Knowing someone would die. Yes, sir. Knowing she would be hunted. The Covenant enforcers are real. 3 confirmed sightings in the last decade. They don't negotiate. They don't fail. Dong-Yoon stares at the monitor, at Zoba's face frozen in pixels and secrets. In 6 weeks, she's transformed his household, made his son smile, folded his shirts, prepared his meals, and signed her own death warrant to protect a child she barely knows. Find out everything about these enforcers, he says quietly, how they track, how they kill, how they can be stopped. Sir, with respect, perhaps it would be wiser to. She's not leaving. The words come out harder than intended. My son needs her, and I don't abandon people who protect my family. Kim nods, understanding what's left unsaid. His boss has just declared war on forces that predate nations, on covenants written in blood and faith. Dong-Yoon pulls up the last file. A grainy photograph of an old man with tribal scars standing in a Nigerian village. Okonkwo Nandi, age 87, master of Ndu, Zoba's grandfather, the eldest living master. Dawn comes slowly to the garden. Du Hyun arrives before the sun, as Zoba instructed. She's already there, barefoot on the grass, her maid's uniform replaced by simple dark clothing that allows movement. Before the hand, she says without preamble, comes the breath. Before the strike comes stillness. Do-hyun mirrors her stance, feet shoulder-width, knees soft, spine straight. She places one hand on his chest, the other on his belly. In my language, we say, Nkyum, Ndu, the breath of life. Your breath is not just air. It is intention. It is power waiting to be shaped. She demonstrates. Inhale through the nose, 4 counts. Hold, 4 counts. Exhale through the mouth, 8 counts. Simple. Except when she breathes, the air seems to change around her. Becomes heavier, more deliberate. Do-hyun tries. His breath shakes, uneven. Again, she says gently, your mind is racing. Let the thoughts pass like clouds. You don't chase them. You don't fight them. You simply breathe. They stand in silence for 20 minutes, just breathing. Do-hyun's legs begin to tremble from holding the stance, but Zoba's hand on his shoulder steadies him. The body remembers what the mind forgets. She whispers, when Min-suk corners you, your mind will panic. But your body, if we teach it well, your body will know what to do. She shows him the first form. Not the killing strike. Not yet. Just the foundation. How to root his feet, how to shift his weight, how to move from his center rather than his limbs. In your father's world, men fight with anger, with ego. Her movements are water smooth, precise. But Ndung is different. It is the technique of the protector, not the conqueror. You strike only when all other paths are closed. You kill only when death is the alternative. Do-hyun copies her movements, clumsy at first. She adjusts his elbow, his hip, his shoulders. Each correction is gentle but firm. Why did you teach me? He asks suddenly. If someone has to die. My grandfather is 87 years old. Zoba's voice carries no regret. He has lived a full life, loved deeply, protected his people. When I called him after our first lesson, he laughed. She smiles, distant. He said, finally, you remember what it means to be a guardian. Finally, you stop running. Do-hyun's eyes fill with tears. But small one. Some things are worth the price. She cups his face with both hands. You are worth the price. From the kitchen window, Dong-yoon watches. He's been watching every morning for a week, seeing his son transform. Seeing the ghost become solid again. Seeing Zoba teach Do-hyun not just how to fight, but how to be strong without being cruel. How to protect without becoming a predator. Everything Dong-yoon never learned. Everything he wishes someone had taught him. If you are still here, kindly subscribe if you have not, and if you have, let's continue with this captivating story. 2 weeks of training. 14 dawns in the garden. Do-hyun's hands no longer shake when he forms the triangle. The bathroom at Minjil High School smells like industrial cleaner and fear. Do-hyun stands at the sink, washing his hands slowly, deliberately, breathing like Zoba taught him. 4 counts in, 4 counts hold, 8 counts out. The door slams open. Min-suk, 2 friends today, Jae-sung and Tae-min, insurance. 50,001, Little Park, plus interest. Min-suk's smile is all teeth. You're 2 days late. Do-hyun turns off the water, dries his hands. His heart hammers, but his breath stays even. No. The word drops like a stone into silence. Min-suk laughs. What? I said no. Do-hyun's voice doesn't shake. I'm done. The first shove comes fast. Do-hyun's back hits the sink. Min-suk's hand wraps around his throat. The same grip, the same pressure point. Muscle memory from months of practice. You think because your daddy's a gangster, you can disrespect me? In my school. Do-hyun's vision narrows. Zoba's voice in his memory. The technique is used only when death is the alternative. This is the alternative. Min-suk's friends move closer, blocking the door. Taemin pulls out a box cutter. Maybe we carve our names into him. Send a message to his father. Something shifts in Do-hyun's chest. Not panic. Clarity. His hands move. The triangle forms perfectly. Thumb to middle finger. Index curved. His right hand strikes Min-suk's wrist, precise pressure point. The grip on his throat releases involuntarily. Min-suk stumbles back, confused. What? Do-hyun's palm finds the center of Min-suk's chest. Not hard, just exact. The specific meridian Zoba showed him, the one she made him practice on sandbags for hours. Here, she'd said. Only here. And only if you must. Min-suk's eyes go wide. His mouth opens but no sound comes. He takes one step backward, two, then his legs buckle. He collapses like a puppet with cut strings. Silence. Taemin drops the box cutter. It clatters on tile, impossibly loud. Do-hyun stares at his hands. They're steady. Shouldn't they be shaking? Min-suk isn't breathing. He's dead. Jae-sung whispers, backing toward the door. Oh God, he's dead. You killed him. They run. Footsteps echoing in the hallway, getting distant. Do-hyun kneels beside Min-suk's body. Checks for a pulse he already knows isn't there. His phone feels heavy in his pocket. He dials. 3 rings. Teacher, he says when Zoba answers. His voice sounds strange. Distant. I think I killed him. In the garden of the park compound, Zoba closes her eyes. Blood drips from her nose, warm and sudden, the Covenant's first warning. I'm coming, she says. Stay exactly where you are. The price has begun. Dong-yoon's phone rings at 11:47 a.m. Kim's voice is tight. Sir, there's been an incident at Myeonjil High. Baek Jin-woo's son is dead. The conference room clears in seconds. Dong-yoon stands alone at the window, watching Seoul spread out below him like a game board. How? Witnesses say Do-hyun touched him once. Center of the chest. Min-suk walked 2 steps and collapsed, dead before the ambulance arrived. Kim pauses. Internal hemorrhaging. Cardiac arrest. The doctors can't explain it. Dong-yoon closes his eyes. Of course they can't. The school. Our lawyers are handling it. Self-defense. Multiple witnesses confirm Min-suk and 2 accomplices cornered Do-hyun in the bathroom. One had a weapon. The surveillance footage conveniently malfunctioned. And Baek Jin-woo? He knows, sir. He knows it wasn't an accident. The compound's medical room smells like antiseptic and fear. Do-hyun sits on the examination table. Silent. Not in shock, just silent. The way he used to be before Zoba. Dong-yoon enters, and his son looks up. Their eyes meet. Appa, Do-hyun whispers. I didn't mean to. I know. Dong-yoon sits beside him. Heavy. Tell me what happened. Do-hyun explains. The box cutter. The choice. The strike. His voice is steady until the end. Teacher said only when death is the alternative. It was the alternative. Dong-yoon pulls his son close. The boy doesn't cry. Neither does he. You did what you had to do, Dong-yoon says into his son's hair. You protected yourself. That's what she taught you. But protection has a price. Zoba's room is small, servants' quarters beside the kitchen. Dong-yoon finds her sitting on the floor, back against the wall. Blood stains her collar, nose, ears, the corners of her eyes. How long, he asks, until the Covenant decides. Her voice is weak but clear. Could be days. Could be hours. The eldest has already died. My grandfather passed 3 nights ago in his sleep. The balance is shifting. Dong-yoon kneels before her. Let me get you to a hospital. They can't help me. This isn't medicine. This is consequence. Then tell me how to stop it. You can't. She meets his eyes. But you can prepare. Baek Jin-woo will come for Do-hyun. He'll want blood for blood. And the Covenant enforcers, they'll come too, to test the boy, to see if he's worthy of what I gave him. Then they'll have to go through me. Zoba almost smiles. You can't fight faith with bullets, Mr. Park. Watch me. She reaches up, touches his face. Her hand is cold. You're a good father. Better than you know. Promise me, when I'm gone, don't let him become you. Don't let the technique turn him into another weapon. You're not going anywhere. Promise me. Dong-yoon takes her hand. I promise. But you're going to keep that promise yourself. You're going to survive this and teach him everything. Not just the fighting. Everything. Outside, thunder rumbles. Storm clouds gather over Gangnam. War is coming on multiple fronts. The study at midnight. Rain against windows. Dong-yoon spreads the files across his desk. Every document, every photo, every secret he's paid for. Zoba stands before him, still bleeding. Slower now, but constant. Kizoba Okafor, he says. 19 confirmed kills in Port Harcourt. 7 human traffickers dead in a single night. Disappeared before anyone could touch you. He looks up. You're not a maid. You've never been a maid. No. Her voice is steady. I'm a guardian who forgot how to guard. I'm a warrior who ran from her duty. Until I met your son. You used him. The accusation hangs between them. You knew teaching him would kill your grandfather. You knew it would bring the enforcers. And you did it anyway. Yes. Why? Zoba moves to the window, watches rain stream down glass. Because I saw myself in him. A child taught that silence is survival. That making yourself small keeps you safe. That love is something you lose. She turns. I was wrong to run. My grandfather knew it. That's why he died smiling. Baek Jin-woo is mobilizing his entire organization. The Covenant enforcers are coming. You staying here makes Do-hyun a target on 2 fronts. And me leaving makes him an orphan again. Her eyes flash. Who will protect him when the nightmares come? When he realizes what his hands have done. When he needs to know that killing doesn't make him a monster. I will. You. Zoba's laugh is soft, sad. You, who built an empire on violence. You, who never learned the difference between power and protection. He needs more than a father who can kill for him. He needs someone who can teach him how to live after killing. Dong-yoon stands jaw tight. You're dying. What good are you to him dead? More good than you think. Some lessons are only learned through sacrifice. I'm ordering you to leave. Tonight. I'll arrange transport, new identity, money. No. The door creaks. They both turn. Do-hyun stands in the hallway, tears streaming. His voice breaks. Everyone I love leaves me. Zoba is beside him instantly, kneeling. Small one. First Iyama. Then you. He looks at his father, betrayed. You're sending her away. To protect you, Dong-yoon says, but the words sound hollow even to him. She protected me. She's the only one who. Do-hyun's sobs choke him. Zoba pulls him close, whispers in Igbo, then Korean. Listen to me. I'm not leaving. I will stay. I will protect you until my last breath. And after that, you'll be strong enough to protect yourself. The Covenant. Let them come. Let them all come. She looks at Dong-yoon over Do-hyun's head. Some things are worth dying for. Some people are worth the war. Dong-yoon sees it then. The choice she made weeks ago in the garden. The choice she makes again now. He nods slowly. Then we fight. All of us. Together. Outside, lightning splits the sky. Dawn breaks cold and clear. The storm has passed, leaving the compound washed clean. Too clean. Too quiet. Dong-yoon's security team reports nothing unusual. Cameras functional. Perimeter secure. every guard at their post. But instinct screams otherwise. At 6:43 a.m., the gate intercom buzzes. The guard's voice crackles through. "Sir, there's someone here. He says he's expected. Armed. No weapon visible. But sir, he just appeared." The cameras show nothing. Then he's standing at the gate. Like he materialized. Dong-Yoon's hand moves to his gun. "Send him through." Slowly. The man who walks across the courtyard moves like water over stones. Effortless. Inevitable. Young. Perhaps 25. Nigerian. 3 parallel scars mark each cheek. Ritual marks that catch the morning light. He wears simple white clothing that shouldn't be clean after Seoul's rain. But he stops 10 feet from the entrance. Doesn't bow. Doesn't threaten. Simply stands. Dong-Yoon emerges, flanked by 6 armed men. "You're trespassing." "I am Chukwabuka." His Korean is perfect, accentless. "I am sent by those who maintain the covenant. I bring no violence today. Only words." Zoba appears at Dong-Yoon's shoulder. When she sees Chukwabuka, her breath catches. An enforcer. "Sister Kazoba." Chukwabuka's eyes are ancient despite his youth. "You have broken the oldest law, taught the sacred technique outside the bloodline, outside the ritual, outside permission. I know what I've done." The eldest has fallen. Okonkwo Namdi passed peacefully, dreaming of his granddaughter's courage. The covenant has shifted. He pauses, but it has not yet decided. Do Hyun steps forward, and Dong-Yoon's hand shoots out to stop him. But the boy slips past, stands between Zoba and the enforcer. "She taught me to protect myself." Do Hyun says, voice steady. "Not to hurt people. Not to be powerful. To survive." Chukwabuka studies him with those ageless eyes. "You have already killed small warrior. The technique has tasted blood through your hands. Because I had to. Because death was the alternative. Perhaps." Chukwabuka reaches into his clothing, and every gun rises. He produces only a small cloth bag, which he drops at Do-Hyun's feet. White chalk spills out, forming a symbol, a triangle within a circle crossed by 3 lines. The mark of a Maidioha's judgment. "In 3 days, I return. The boy will be tested. If he learned the technique for protection, the covenant accepts him as the 20th master. If he learned it for power, for vengeance, for pride." He looks at Zoba. "Then 3 lives are forfeit. The teacher, the student, and the one who shelters them both." He turns to leave, then stops. The technique is sacred because it carries consequence. Every strike is a choice. Every choice has weight. His eyes find Dong-Yoon. "Some of your enemies already know this. Some are coming to test whether your son is weapon or guardian. Choose wisely who he becomes in these 3 days." Chukwabuka walks toward the gate. Between one step and the next, he vanishes. The chalk symbol remains, burning white against dark stone. Dong-Yoon stares at it. 3 days. 3 days, Soba echoes, blood still seeping from her nose. To teach him the difference between killing and murder, between strength and cruelty. Do-Hyun looks at his hands. "What if I fail?" Zoba kneels beside him, touches the chalk mark. "Then we all fail together. But you won't. I know your heart, small one. I've always known." The mark of judgment glows in the morning sun. Somewhere in Gangnam, Baek Jinwoo mobilizes his army. Did you know if you subscribed now, you may likely get our next best story on your feed? These subscriptions help us stay motivated while we toil for amazing stories. So please do go ahead and subscribe. Now, let's get back to the story. Day 3, 2:17 a.m. The compound lights die all at once. Not a power failure, sabotage. Dong-Yoon's hand finds his gun in the darkness, muscle memory from 20 years of survival. "Stay with Do-Hyun," he tells Soba. They're already inside. Her voice is calm, certain. She's bleeding freely now, the Covenant's punishment accelerating. 3 days of hemorrhaging have left her pale, weakened. But her eyes are sharp. 12 men, east and west perimeters. They're coming for the boy. Kim's voice crackles through the radio. Beck faction confirmed. Elite soldiers. Sir, there. Gunfire cuts him off. Dong-Yoon moves through his home like a ghost, killing with precision. 2 men in the corridor. 3 in the east wing. But they keep coming, professional, coordinated. This isn't revenge. This is extermination. A blade flashes toward his throat. He pivots, but 2 more attackers corner him. His gun clicks empty. Then Zoba is there. Her movements are nothing like the garden lessons. This is the technique consecrated for war. Her palm strikes the first attacker's solar plexus. He drops instantly, lungs collapsed. Her fingers find the second man's throat, pressing meridians that sever brain signals. He falls like a puppet with cut strings. But it costs her. Blood pours from her nose, her ears, her eyes. The Covenant is tearing her apart from inside. Go, she gasps. Do-hyun's room. Dong-Yoon runs. 4 men breach the panic room door. Do-hyun stands alone, small against the metal shelving. His hands shake but form the triangle. 4 counts in. 4 counts hold. The lead attacker rushes forward, knife raised. Do-hyun's palm finds the center of his chest. The man's forward momentum stops impossibly, instantly. He crumples. The other 3 freeze, recognizing the technique. One whispers in horror. Zoba crashes through the doorway behind them, moving like divine retribution despite the blood streaming down her face. Her strikes are surgical pressure points that cause catastrophic neural collapse. Men fall before they can scream. The last attacker raises his gun, aims at Do-hyun. Zoba throws herself between them. The shot echoes. She collapses. Teacher. Do-hyun's scream tears through the compound. Dong-Yoon arrives, executes the shooter with cold precision. Then he's kneeling beside Zoba, his expensive suit soaking with her blood. You promised to stay, Do-hyun sobs, pressing his small hands against the wound in her chest. You promised. Zoba's hand finds his face. Some promises are kept by breaking them. Her breathing rattles. You used the technique correctly. Protected yourself. Not revenge. Not pride. Just survival. Don't leave me. I'm not. She smiles, blood on her teeth. The technique lives in you now. Every time you breathe, I'm there. Every time you stand strong, I'm there. Her eyes find Dong-Yoon. Teach him what I couldn't teach you. How to be powerful without being cruel. The light fades from her eyes. Do-hyun screams, and somewhere in the compound, the last attacker falls dead. The chalk mark at the gate begins to glow. Dawn is coming, and with it, judgment. They bury Zoba in the garden where she taught Do-hyun to breathe. No funeral, no ceremony, just Dong-Yoon, Do-hyun, and the dawn. The boy hasn't spoken in 3 days. Hasn't cried since that first scream. He simply sits beside the grave, hands forming the triangle, breathing. 4 counts in. 4 counts hold. 8 counts out. On the 3rd morning, the letter arrives. The envelope is old paper, sealed with red wax. The handwriting is shaky but deliberate. Dong-Yoon opens it, reads, then reads again because the words don't make sense. It's dated 2 weeks ago. My beloved granddaughter will teach a boy the sacred technique. She will break the covenant. She will die protecting him. And in doing so, she will reveal what the technique truly is. Not a weapon, but a test of character passed through generations. I am Okonkwo Nandi, eldest master. I die willingly, joyfully, knowing the technique lives in purer hands. Tell the boy, some gifts can only be given through sacrifice. Tell my Kizoba, she was never running from her duty. She was running toward it. The covenant is not broken. It is fulfilled. Okonkwo. Dongyun's hands shake. Zoba knew. Her grandfather knew. They planned this. But why? The chalk mark at the gate blazes white. Chukwabuka materializes, not alone this time. 2 other enforcers stand with him. An elderly woman with silver hair and a young man bearing identical ritual scars. It is time, Chukwabuka says. The boy will be tested. Du Hyun stands, small and hollow-eyed. Dong Yun moves to block him, but Du Hyun touches his father's arm. It's okay, Appa. This is what she prepared me for. The enforcers lead them to the garden, to Zoba's grave. They form a circle around Du Hyun. Chukwabuka raises his hands, and the air thickens, becomes heavy with ancient weight. Du Hyun Park, you have learned Ndu outside the covenant. You have killed with sacred hands. The technique demands judgment. Strike me with your full power. Prove your worth or die with your teacher's legacy. Du Hyun's hands form the triangle. His stance roots perfectly. Everything Zoba taught him aligns. Breath, balance, intention. He moves. His palm streaks toward Chukwabuka's chest, the killing blow perfected through weeks of training. The enforcer doesn't defend, doesn't flinch. The strike stops 1 millimeter from contact. Du Hyun's whole body trembles with the effort of restraint. Tears stream down his face. I can't. She didn't teach me to kill. She taught me when not to kill. She taught me that real strength is choosing mercy when you have the power to destroy. The words break something in him. He collapses, sobbing. I just want her back. I don't care about the technique. I don't care about being strong. I just want my teacher back. Chukwabuka kneels, places his hand over Du Hyun's heart. The chalk mark on the ground erupts in light. The covenant accepts you, not as a warrior, as a guardian. He looks at Dong Yun. And you, Park Dong Yun, you who built empires on violence. What will you give to honor the woman who saved your son? Dong Yun knows this moment, knows the answer before the question finishes. He kneels. Teach me, not the technique. I'm not worthy. Teach me how to be the man my son needs. How to protect without destroying. How to serve something greater than power. The elderly woman speaks for the first time, her voice like wind through ancient trees. You cannot learn Nkundu. Your hands carry too much blood, your heart too much pride. But she looks at Du Hyun. You can learn from watching him, from protecting him, from becoming the father she believed you could be. Chukwabuka stands, pulling Du Hyun up with him. The covenant is fulfilled. 20 masters remain. Okonkwo Namdi rests with ancestors. Kizoba Okafor rests in this garden. And Du Hyun Park becomes the youngest master in 400 years. He touches the boy's forehead. But know this, small guardian, the technique is yours, but so is the burden. When you teach it, you choose who dies. That weight never lightens. Du Hyun nods, understanding beyond his years. The enforcers begin to fade, but Chukwabuka pauses. One more thing. The covenant was fulfilled. Yes. But Kizoba Okafor broke it in a way that has never been done. She taught outside bloodline, outside ritual, outside permission. His ancient eyes gleam. The covenant accepts this, but consequences remain. Tell me, Du Hyun Park, do you feel her? In your breath. In your balance. Du Hyun's eyes widen. Yes. Since she died. Like she's inside me. Because she is. Chukwabuka's smile is terrible and beautiful. She didn't just teach you the technique. She bound her soul to yours. The covenant demanded death, but she found the loophole. She lives in you now. Every breath you take is hers. Every strike you make is hers. You are not the 20th master. You are the 19th and 20th combined. Dongyun's heart stops. What does that mean? It means, the elderly woman says, that when he teaches the technique to another, 2 masters must die. Him and whoever he chooses. The price of Kizoba's sacrifice is that her student can never pass the gift without dying himself. They vanish completely. Du Hyun stands alone, hands trembling. Inside him, he feels it, Zoba's presence, her breath, her heartbeat synchronized with his own. She saved him, empowered him, and cursed him. He can never teach without dying. Dongyun pulls his son close. We'll find a way. We'll break it. But Du Hyun looks at Zoba's grave and smiles through tears. No, Appa. She knew. She knew what she was doing. She made me powerful enough to protect myself forever. And alone enough that I'll never endanger anyone else by teaching them. That's not a gift. That's a prison. No. Du Hyun's hand forms the triangle one last time. It's love. The truest kind. The kind that protects you even after death. In the garden, a wind stirs. And for just a moment, impossible, miraculous, Dongyun swears he smells shea butter and smoke and old prayers. Somewhere in Seoul, a new threat rises. And the last master, who can never create another master, stands ready. The technique will die with him. Unless, if you have enjoyed this story, please subscribe and let us know in the comments section which part you enjoyed the most. Stay tuned, guys.